We've been all around the world, but we realize we haven't gone and checked out one country that Sri Lankans of late have started patronizing their cuisine out of I don't know what sheer love for it, but it's Japanese food. I hadn't tried a Japanese restaurant up until now, so we decided to check out Sushi Kai. Yes, you got that right. Sushi Kai. So most people assume that Japanese food equates sushi. Sushi is just one thing of Japanese food. It's like if I said Sri Lankans eat only polzambal. Yeah, so that's a bit silly. So, or just say mellungs. So basically Japanese food is quite extensive. It's quite complex, but at the same time it's very simple ingredients and quite nutritious and healthy if you think about it that way. So Sushi Kai it is. We decided to go and check out this lovely little cafe located in a little nook that not many people would suspect is there, but we wanted to see what Sushi Kai had on offer for us from the land of cherry blossoms, Japan. Location-wise, Sushi Kai, the little Sushi Kai, is located on the bend of Jawata Road in Colombo 5. So just near the Thimbirigasyaya junction, inwards where Jawata falls onto Thimbirigasyaya, that lovely little bend. They have one little location there, and then further down the curve is another little spot of theirs. So I think they first had this one, then they expanded to that side. So it's in two little pockets. And location-wise, it's very central. It's in Colombo. Thimbirigasyaya being a kind of hub of little restaurants, cafes, coffee shops, various stuff. So I must say, location-wise, it's good. Of course, it's on that bend there. So parking again is a problem, darling. Parking is a issue. You can't really park on the bend, can you now? And of course, that little garage area that you have to park into in reverse, you'd better have really good driving skills. So that being the only issue there, and of course it's rather small. It's in a nice location, but it's very small, very petite. So I would say not a huge gang of people can go in there. So it's more cafe style. But it's a good location. It's in Colombo, it's central, and you can go there anytime you like. It's open for lunch and dinner, so good location. Logo-wise, so Sushi Kai is written in sort of like the Japanese, what's the term for it? Like a paintbrush script. So Sushi Kai in like black lettering, like paintbrush like strokes, and then like a nice fish coming out of it, the fish element, because in East Asian culture, like, so this fish is kind of like significant. And it says fusion cuisine, which is an interesting fact. I'll talk about the food when I get to their fusion cuisine part. So it's not very, like, it doesn't like scream out at you Sushi Kai. So logo wise it has a symbol of the fish and then the whole paintbrush effect of like the Japanese script writing, and the fact that it says fusion cuisine. So, and of course it's a very typically Japanese name. So it's a nice logo, but it's not a logo that screams out at you or grabs your attention. It's more typography again, but though it does have a few symbols. And I'm not too excited when I think about it, but it's not a bad logo in the sense it suits what it stands for. So it's nice. Ambience-wise, Sushi Kai, so like I said, it has two locations. So the one on the left corner on the bend is actually quite nice because it's nice and cozy, but it's a little too damn tiny. So if you turn around, you'll be in someone's face. You turn this way, you'll be like... So we didn't want to sit on that side, though it had that real Japanese feel because like the bamboo wood tables and all upstairs. And then on the other side was this other area which had more like bench-style sitting, which was nice. But unfortunately on that day, dear God, there was no proper AC for some effing reason. The like conked out, or in this heat it had died. So it was quite hot. I mean, it was like sitting in the night and having dinner in this very hot kind of cafe. And because it's all glass, you have the glass house effect of it being frigging hot inside. So that was an issue. But it was nice. It was a bit too dimly lit though, because we were like, peering at our food in the dark. So I think they need to increase the lighting. It's not something, that was like, it was a little too dim because you got to see what you're eating, right? So ambience wise, like I said, it's a little too cluttered in that, don't go there for a private conversation because neighbor is going to be listening to you, and the one in front and the servers. So it's not a place where you're going to go and be like, oh, let's whisper sweet nothings to each other's ear, darling. No. Or have a gossip session about your work or something. Your boss might be behind you. So a little cramped, but it's good for like a quick meal. You want to come eat something fast, have a quick chat with a friend, quick catch up and run off, that's fine. So I think Sushi Kai is more that cafe style, but a very crowded cafe style where you're breathing each other's fumes, as it were. So ambience wise, it was okay, could be improved definitely in that section we were in. Increase the menu wise, so those Sushi Kai is a little place and it's a tiny little cafe. They had quite an extensive menu. So it had everything from starters, it had the sushi rolls, the temaki rolls, it had the katsudons, it had the tempura, it had panko, it had karage. You get it, right? It had ramen, it had so much, like lot of variety. Drinks wise, it didn't have so many things, just a few innovative drinks in there, which I'll talk about later. And dessert wise also rather limited, but food wise, man, they didn't have a shortage of food. There was so much to eat. It was completely a nice, extensive, big variety of food. And like I said, for Sri Lankans who think Japan is only about sushi, and of course it had sashimi as well, there was more than that, much more than that on offer. So a really good meal. So on to the food. So first we ordered a drink, and I got really excited when I saw this kai glass, which is basically lemon, ginger and lemongrass. And it came in this like nice tall ice glass, so all fresh, and it had that lovely gingery zing. Now listen, I know ginger isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I love ginger because I love that nice spiciness it gives, and then when it cuts together with the lemongrass and the lime, it had a lovely twist to it. So obviously they put sugar in there, but it was a really lovely drink, completely refreshing and great in this heat that we are suffering with. So I had to admit, and I have to say, it was a really good drink. And something innovative. I haven't seen that anywhere else. Of course, I have the usual green tea, but I didn't bother trying that. So I tried the kai glass and I was very happy with it. Nice and gingery, and for those of you who like that extra zing of like fresh ginger and lemongrass, this is the perfect drink. So, on to the starters. So I ordered a seafood okonomiyaki. So for those of you who don't know what okonomiyaki is, it's basically a Japanese pancake. But it's not the pancake you and I know, darling. It's really rich. It has, so you can have the vegetarian, you can have other meats. The seafood one has lots of seafood in it. It's like thick, it's got layers of mayonnaise on top and with like, I think some teriyaki sauce. And it has bonito flakes. So bonito is a kind of fish flakes that they put. It's actually quite pretty. It looks like little butterfly wings, like sort of onion skin kind of. So, but it gives a lovely little zing to the okonomiyaki. So this was a really good okonomiyaki. Nice and thick with lots of seafood, and it was a lovely rich taste. Of course, it's very heavy though. You can actually have that as a meal and be stuffed to the so it was a good okonomiyaki, and I love the fact that there was a lot of seafood, like nice succulent prawns in there, so they were not stingy with their seafood meat. So I must say, a really good okonomiyaki, and I love the little bonito flakes. Let's flicking their wings like that. It's so pretty. So the next starter I decided to order was okra chips with wasabi mayo. Now, Sushi Kai is about fusion cuisine, and I think this is where the fusion comes in. So good old bandaka, sliced and seared on a pan, and it came with this wasabi mayonnaise. It was really lovely because, I mean, see, it had lost that sliminess. So when you like dip it in with the wasabi mayo, it gets this lovely taste. So that nice seared bandaka and that nice wasabi mayo zing was really awesome. The only issue with that dish is I think they were using a very cheap mayonnaise. I think Edinburgh, being that tea brand that it is, with horrid sauces, I think it was Edinburgh mayonnaise, and therefore it tasted like the plastic garbage that it usually is. But the wasabi saved it a bit, because see, you know, really good wasabi gives you that right kick. But the thickness of this is like eating like plain white sauce, and proper mayonnaise does not taste like that. So that was the only downer with it. But in terms of a fusion dish, fabulous. Good old bandaka or okra. Let's call it okra. Okra chips, and though it was called chips, it was like more like strips of it. Seared strips with the wasabi mayo. Really good. So for sashimi, we decided to order a portion of salmon. I love salmon, right? I'm really not a huge tuna and any other fish fan in terms of the sashimi, so I wanted a nice fresh salmon sashimi. And they serve this little dish of 3 or 4 slices of salmon sashimi, and it was really nice and fresh, nice and soft. Not the greatest quality I've had, but not bad either. And of course, I doused it with a lot of soy sauce and wasabi because I love that little zing, you know, it kind of gives you that thrill up there. Not up anywhere else, up your nose, up your senses. Fresh salmon sashimi was lovely. So really nice, like I said, not the greatest quality, but not poor either. So good. So for sushi rolls, we decided to check out what was most popular. So I asked that lovely little serving guy, what do you recommend? And he recommended, he said the fastest mover is their crispy red, which is a fusion sushi roll. Basically, it has salmon cucumber with tempura bubbles and a chili mayo. So basically, there's salmon and cucumber inside, a rice roll with bits of tempura bubbles on top and a chili mayo put on it. So it was really nice. The inside was nice and soft. The tempura bubbles gave a nice crisp zing, and along with the chili mayo, it was a really nice treat. So I would say crispy red is highly recommended, really nice. I wasn't overtly excited because, see, I'm a person who loves sushi rolls with a bit of roe. I like either crab roe or prawn roe, but because they get the nice little pop. But none of the dishes on offer really had that. But this was nice, and especially those of you who love chili and mayonnaise, I mean, this would be good for you too. So it was a nice dish, a nice fusion dish, and I would say it was quite a good attempt at creating something Sri Lankan and Japanese at the same time. So for rice, I wanted to try a rice dish, and I wanted a garlic rice. I of course took a dear companion on this little dinner cuisine, and he wanted egg in the rice. So we said, okay, make it a garlic and egg fried rice, and it came with an egg on top. But taste wise, I love the fact that burnt garlic taste was nicely mixed with the rice, and the egg also complemented it, I think. But the garlic was what really came out, and it was nice because, you know, it had that nice karavecha garlic taste. So good. I just wish the rice was a bit more glutinous, a little more sticky, where I could have like shoveled it up with my chopsticks. That would have been just like bliss for me. But still, it was a really good rice, and I would recommend that garlic rice indeed. For panko, we decided to check out the moda panko because I want to check out a fish dish, and I love the fact that it came all nice and crispy. I love it when the panko is fresh and crispy, and this did not disappoint. The only thing I felt was the fish was a tad hard. Maybe it was over fried a bit, but still that crispiness kind of made up for it. So it was served with like a mayonnaise and like a chili mayonnaise sauce, which is quite nice. But you could have eaten that moda just because that panko was nice and crispy, and, you know, like just cracks in your mouth when you bite into it. So really nice. From the teriyaki list, we decided to check out the teriyaki chicken because teriyaki is, after all, nice as chicken. So this teriyaki dish came with sesame seeds on top, white sesame seeds, and lovely dose of a teriyaki sauce. So, you know, teriyaki has a mix of sweet and slightly sourish, like the soya sauce, the umami kind of taste. And I love the fact that the chicken was not too hard, but it wasn't too soft either. Maybe it could have been a bit succulent, but that hardness was also nice, you know. It bites nicely. don't think dirty. So I really enjoyed it, and I must say it was a good dish and a really good teriyaki dish. So very nice. So from the tempuras, I wanted to try out the coriander tempura leaves with a nice dipping sauce, but there was no tempura coriander leaves, and I was quite annoyed. No, actually, I mean, it would have been exciting to try, but the guy was like, sorry ma'am, it's not available. Fine. So then I decided to go for the crab stick. Now I know crab stick is not real. It's fake as right? For those of you who don't know, no crab has a body like that in like an octagonal shaped stick, right? So it's fake. It's created with crab meat and other fish and all kinds of like flavors and but it tastes so good. And I, being the greedy glut that I am, I thought I must try the panko version of it. So I ordered tempura crab stick. So this came fried in tempura, little bits of crab stick, not a lot. Quite a good portion, and it came with a dipping sauce, which I think is like a fish oil based one. They said it's a tempura sauce, but oh, it tasted so good. And that crab stick tempura on its own also tasted really good. But because it's fake, I won't recommend you try the crab stick all the time. Go for the prawn and all. I mean, more natural, no, but still, for a greedy pig like me, that crab stick, oh, satisfied my deepest cravings for such junk. So a rather halfway healthy junk food. So the crab stick tempura was very good. On to dessert. So the dessert options weren't so many. There was some matcha thing in there, but there was this tempura battered chocolate brownie. Tempura fried chocolate brownie with ice cream. Now that was really interesting, and I was like, how do you fry a chocolate brownie with tempura? That would be very exciting. So this lovely dish came in front of us. Basically, the brownie has tempura batter and fried in it, and the ice cream is put on top. The brownie was really nice, and you had to dig into the tempura batter and then mix it with the ice cream, and it was one of those decadent, greedy moments. I just wish the brownie was hot though. It would have been like nice and fiery hot, and the ice cream would have just like melted slightly, and that would have been a wonderful contrast. But it was not like that. Sigh. So anyway, I decided to try this out. And like I said, I would have preferred it hot, but it was still nice because the tempura batter I felt was slightly not as crisp as it could have been, but the ice cream was really refreshing with it. So it was a nice contrast between the two and something very unique. I have never seen this dessert anywhere. So I must say they need to get a little bit more innovative with the desserts, maybe extend the dessert range. And see, Japan is known for its various fruits. It's known for its various types of desserts as well. So maybe they could have tried out a few more options, but this was nice and I'm glad I tried it. Service wise, it was quite nice. I mean, we had a nice, pleasant serving guy, but I think he was a bit overwhelmed because, like I said, it's in two parts, right? The restaurant, so I think there's one lot servicing that corner, one lot servicing this corner, and they seem to be running to and fro with bills and food and various stuff, which is a tad impractical. So there were delays in terms of bringing some of the stuff. So some of the food came really fast. Some of the food was like, okay, where's our food? Right, and by the time all the food came, we had eaten so much we were dead. In terms of the service offered, that guy was nice, pleasant, and I think he knew what he was talking about. So good. Can improve, but price wise, dear God, this place is absolute value for money. We ate like hogs. I was my true glut glutinous self. But trust me, that price was amazing balls. I'm so glad we went there. We had about 10 dishes and our bill was less than 10,000 rupees, and that is really saying something. In Colombo, with our taxes that are abusing all of us and ruining our lives, ruining those of us who love eating out. But with all that, this is complete, absolute value for money. I completely recommend this place if you're just looking for price-wise a good Japanese meal. Completely worth it and so good. I mean, it's one of the best prices we've come across. So that's really saying something. So, complete, absolute value for money, good food and good price. So overall, Sushi Kai fusion cuisine, I must say, is really a lovely restaurant in terms of the fact that it's nice and cute and cafe-like and cozy, but they need to increase the AC. Besides that factor, really good food, really nice guys on service, a little slow which they can improve, price-wise, fabulous, fantabulous, and complete value for money. So in terms of a restaurant, I would say you have to check it out. It's really good. It has quite an extensive menu of Japanese food. It's not just sushi. It had lots of other things, and it had lots of things I didn't try because if I ate any more, dear God, I would have died. Stay tuned as I go check out what next is on offer in this wonderful island of ours in Colombo. So small, but so diverse, and so much to eat and so much to see. So join me as I go check out and rate in my truly brutal self all the good, bad and the ugly of the restaurants of Colombo.